interest is in the recurrent.
And it's no longer on the blue pages, so it's now on the...
It's on a white page, 20,019.
2018 for interest and 20,017 for amortization.
Okay.
Those are the two debt. Those are the two heads in the estimates in the big yellow book that capture the public debt expenditure. So,
okay.
So the summary we were going through is just giving you the gross totals for both the central government and the public bodies, and the third column shows the amounts that have been taken out, and those would be the appropriation in aid and transfers from the consolidated fund. Appropriation in aid, because those are not amounts that are coming from the consol fund. Those are, as we mentioned before, revenue from user fees and charges that the entities are allowed to.
Jamaica improve, heart free, wages increase, housing scheme a bill up, we have more opportunities, roads bill and the dollar stable. We are building Jamaica.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicai.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Come July, your NHT home improvement loan will increase to $3.5 million for qualifying applicants. Your government is caring for you. Jamaica improve, heart free, wages increase, housing scheme a bill up, we have more opportunities, roads bill and the dollar stable. We are building Jamaica. We care about our minimum wage earners. That is why we increased the minimum from the previous increase of 13,000 to now 15,000. And as our economy continues to improve, you can look forward to even more increases. Your government is caring for you.
What is the role of a backbencher in government? I'm glad you asked. They're members of parliament who are not appointed to cabinet. So they sit in the back of the legislature and they apply pressure. They examine what government legislates, participate in parliament debates, raise issues and advocate and question chamber when things don't look straight. Backbenchers represent the constituents in parliament. Backbenchers oversee the interests of citizens, you and me. But how can they be agents of government accountability after them no hold no portfolio? And them and a minister? No. So then how can they facilitate government transparency? And the next thing, them and a front bencher. So how them affect me? You see, a lot of work is in committees. So these portfolio-free MPs with less dire responsibilities are more accessible to you and me. So they help with policy, but it helps if we engage them, you see. So they're not just in the back benches, but on the ground, in the trenches. Though in the back of parliament, we're at the front of their cause. So pause. Find a backbencher at jampja.org.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
lock them out.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, now we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now the black cyber take a boy your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence a drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
More of your money is now tax-free? Know that the income tax threshold has been increased. Your government is looking after you responsibly, so our economy can do even more for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Are you an entrepreneur producing an excellent Jamaican product or service? Did you know you can earn hard currency and more significant returns by exporting? Contact the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce to help propel your business along the export lane.
Everything you can produce, the Jamaicans overseas want it. We're not going to get rich by just bringing down the debt. We're going to get rich by exporting a lot more. So grow exports, create job opportunities, drive economic growth through exports to make Jamaica a richer and much more prosperous country.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Jamaica is changing right before our very eyes. Across the island, billions are being invested into our road networks, from farm and community roads to major roads and highways. Dozens of communities across the length and breadth of Jamaica are receiving access to reliable potable water for the very first time. And thousands of Jamaicans have become homeowners thanks to the historic shifts in policies of the National Housing Trust, making it easier for Jamaicans to receive funding. Not to mention the record number of houses being built. Never dreamed you would own a home? No matter your circumstance, home ownership is possible for you, thanks to the government's new social housing program, specially designed to meet the needs of poor Jamaicans at no cost to them. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
It's Tuesday, February 24th. In the headlines, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton urges beverage makers to cut sugar content. In business news, Bank of Jamaica cuts key interest rate. Regionally, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio to participate in high-level Caricom meeting. And in sports, Jamaica's national under-20 football team off to a winning start in CONCACAF qualifiers. And Windies complete imperious win over Zimbabwe in T20 World Cup Super 8 clash. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is urging beverage manufacturers to reduce the sugar content in their products. The request comes as the government pushes to promote healthier lifestyles among Jamaicans. Speaking at the reopening of the Belfield Community Health Center in St. Mary, Dr. Tufton said while it is not his role to dictate to manufacturers, government policy can guide product reformulation.
Jamaica consumes more sugary drink on a per capita basis than most countries throughout the world. Sugar, it's an addiction. And because of how the drinks are formulated and the popularity of consumption, it is a major risk factor in contributing to poor health outcomes.
He notes that the World Health Organization recommends no more than 2.5 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters. But some beverages on the local market contain significantly higher amounts. The minister is encouraging consumers to examine nutrition labels and choose drinks with lower sugar content, warning that sugary beverages are linked to serious health risks. He also called on manufacturers to consider smaller single-serving sizes and pledged that public health facilities will lead by example by complying with the World Health Organization's guideline on sugar content. A new survey conducted in 10 inner-city communities in Kingston has identified domestic violence, police violence, and address-based employment discrimination as the top reported human rights violations. The 2025 study, co-published by the MICO Foundation and Jamaicans for Justice, surveyed more than 300 residents and was recently released at the MICO University College. Our reporter Denita Rodney tells us more.
The survey sampled 305 residents across 10 Kingston communities supported by focus groups. Domestic violence topped the list, with 34% reporting abuse inside the home. Police violence followed at 22.6%, while 22.3% said they were denied jobs because of their address. Project lead Sandra Gray Alvarenga says youth aged 16 to 24 were the most affected, but the least likely to seek help.
So we had 105 persons reporting incidents, experiences with domestic violence, 69 reporting experiences firsthand with police violence, and 72 persons experiencing denial of employment based on where they live. So the youth cohort, the 16 to 24, were the most affected of this group. And funny enough, they also were the most educated. They also were the ones that had the best information on what to do when you face certain difficulties. And in spite of that, they were the ones that were least likely to seek help.
She says many young people turn to family first when facing violence, and discussions reveal the continued presence of the informer for dead culture.
What were the common responses when people face violent situations is that they tell the family first, they may go to the police next, and they confront the abuser third. And what came out of that, which was a bit disturbing, was that the informer for dead culture still exists in pockets, you know. And there was robust debate on that. But there is a feeling informer for dead. So you going to report anything is just about not happening. The key barriers to reporting human rights abuses included fear of retaliation, stigma, and concerns about confidentiality. These obstacles result in underreporting, hindering justice and accountability.
The study also found intimate partner violence is widely normalized, with slightly more men than women admitting to abuse.
Domestic violence, by their own admission, is normalized. Verbal, physical interplay is recognized. The explanation given is man beat woman, woman beat man. That's normal. The further explanation given is that a woman's mouth is wicked and can kill you, and a man's fist will do the same. So they willingly accepted that there are instances of extreme provocation on one end and extreme retaliation on the other, with no mediation in between, with no tempering of the tempers.
Abused men reported stigma when seeking help, and the police violence was significantly higher among males, 31% compared to 12% of females, with youth accounting for nearly 27% of cases. Still, 8 of the 10 communities said they would only intervene in severe cases of violence against women, and child sexual abuse would likely prompt swift community action. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denita Rodney.
The St. Thomas Health Department is focused on major infrastructure upgrades, responding to disease outbreaks, and enhancing community health services in anticipation of population growth. Medical Officer of Health for the parish, Dr. Diane Smith, gave an update at a recent municipal meeting. While giving his monthly report, Dr. Smith said there has been an increase in the number of dengue cases in the parish.
Which you would expect given the rainfall with Melissa and after Melissa. But we are doing well in controlling those mosquitoes. And we have a Brito index which is 20, it's under 25. So 25 is the cut point of if you're doing well, then you are controlling the mosquitoes if you're under 25, or we're at 20 for most of January.
With that said, he's encouraging residents to store their water properly to prevent mosquito breeding.
We're encouraging those persons who don't have drums, because drums are a reality, to ensure that they cover the drums and that they particularly use the mesh covers. So that's one of the things that we want to push by this year, to remind people to use their mesh covers over their drums.
And on the matter of sewage disposal,
This actual disposal onto the streets is a part of the Morambe setup, in that there is not a proper sewage system for Morambe, and this is one of the things that needs to be done, to have a proper sewage system for the township. There were plans for this in the past, and were discussed here at the council several times, but in competing things, because I think we were in ahead of Portland for Port Antonio purposes. But it's something that, as a department, will take the complaint and do the investigation. But the true solution is for the town of Morambe to have a proper sewage system.
Time now for our Reggae Month feature, Reggae Facts, with Joan Andrea Hutchinson.
Reggae Facts. In recognition of their tremendous contribution to reggae music and their inestimable legacy, the University of the West Indies has conferred honorary doctorates on a number of Jamaican music stalwarts. The list includes Marcia Griffiths, OD, 2025, presented in 2026, Winston Meritone Blake, OD, 2024, Beres Hammond, OJ, 2023, Rita Marley, OD, 2015, Chris Blackwell, OJ, 2004, Ernie Ranglin, OD, 2002, and Jimmy Cliff, OD, 1997. We salute them all, as well as all the others who have received similar academic awards from local and international universities for their amazing contribution and their profound legacy that continues to redound to the perpetuation of the Jamaican music brand. Reggae Facts was brought to you with the kind support of the Jamaica Association of Composers, Authors and Publishers, JCAP, valuing your musical creativity.
Here's a quick message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness for this week's Living Healthy report.
No containers, no mosquito, no dengue. So anywhere there is a breeding site, come make we get rid of them there. Believe me, people, don't play no fool. It's the only way to be dengue proof. Use repellent and cover up. But just in case you have a high fever with severe headache, pains to nausea, take a paracetamol, drink lots of water. No take no chance, still visit your doctor. Clear the site, avoid the bite, but just in case, treat it right.
A message from the Ministry of Health, sponsored by the NHF.
Denise Williams will give us the business report.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. The Bank of Jamaica has reduced its key interest rate by 25 basis points to 5.5%. The decision was made by the bank's Monetary Policy Committee during meetings held on February 19 and 20. The committee says the impact of Hurricane Melissa on inflation was not as severe as first feared. Faster recovery in agricultural production and a recent strengthening of the Jamaican dollar helped to keep prices lower. Inflation is now expected to remain largely within the bank's target range over the next 2 years, with only a few temporary breaches. The new policy rate will take effect on today, February 24. The central bank also says it will continue to act to maintain stability in the foreign exchange market. For the trading period of February 23, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Radio Jamaica Limited with 56,619,146 units, representing 47.79% of market sales activities. R.A. Williams Distributors Limited, Jamaican dollar shares with 44,145,276 units, representing 37.26% of market sales activities. Lasco Manufacturing Limited shares with 4,808,272 units, representing 4.06% of market sales activity. Investor activity remained concentrated in media, medical, and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for February 23, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $156.79 and buying at $155.04. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $1.50 transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $113.57 and was bought for $112.01. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $7.47 in profits for the bank. The British pound sold for $212.31 and was bought for $204.84. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For the credit report tip of the day, when you're planning to finance a fleet of vehicles, your credit report can actually become a supporting section of your business plan. Pull your credit report and use it to show lenders a track record of how you manage credit on-time payments, responsible use of limits, and stability over time. In your proposal, connect these details directly to the fleet investment. Highlight accounts that demonstrate your ability to handle vehicle loans or installment payments. Explain any past improvements in your credit behavior and show how your current obligations still leave room for the new financing. When presenting to financial institutions, lenders are looking for that link between your credit history and the projected income from the vehicles. Essentially, evidence that your past borrowing behavior supports your plan to operate assets that will generate steady cash flow and comfortably service the loan. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, has arrived in St. Kitts and Nevis for the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of Caribbean Community. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar is expected to address Tuesday's opening ceremony joining regional leaders, including Jamaica's Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. The summit will be chaired by St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Terence Drew, while U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is also slated to participate in high-level discussions focused on regional security, migration, trade, and economic cooperation.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, accompanied by Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister Nicholas Morris and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign and Caricom Affairs Randall Karim, successfully touched down in St. Kitts and Nevis on Monday afternoon.
We've just landed here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. I'm looking forward to all the meetings that we'll have for the 50th Caricom. It's a historic time. 50 years is a long time to celebrate. There's much that as the Caricom we have done together, and there's far much more that we can do together. So happy to be back in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you all. Have a blessed.
Mrs. Persad-Bissessar is expected to deliver an address at the opening ceremony of the 50th regular meeting of Caricom on Tuesday, where Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Secretary General of Caricom Dr. Carla Barnett, and recently appointed heads of government from across the region are also expected to deliver remarks. Just before takeoff in Trinidad, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar announced Minister of Works and Infrastructure Gillian John as the acting Prime Minister, wishing her success on this critical responsibility. And the PM also took time to cut the ribbon to formally signify the launch of the premium passenger services at the Piarco International Airport before her departure, an initiative which is part of a new suite of services that are being offered to premium customers, including persons with business class tickets on Caribbean Airlines and persons using the Flyers Lounge. Among the delegation to St. Kitts and Nevis is Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and Minister of Foreign and Caricom Affairs Sean Sobers. And via a press statement from the U.S. Secretary of State, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will travel to St. Kitts and Nevis on Wednesday to participate in the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Governments of Caricom. It noted that Secretary Rubio will engage with Caribbean leaders to advance shared priorities, including strengthening regional security, deepening cooperation to combat illegal immigration and illicit trafficking, and promoting economic growth, health, and energy security across the Caribbean. The statement added that during his visit, the Secretary will reaffirm the United States' commitment to working with CARICOM member states to enhance stability and prosperity in our hemisphere. According to a media release by the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs on Sunday, TNT will pursue a series of bilateral engagements, including discussions with U.S. officials and representatives of Afreximbank aimed at strengthening economic cooperation, security, trade, and development. The CARICOM Heads of Government meeting will be chaired by Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Dr. Terence Drew, who assumed the chairmanship of CARICOM on January 1st, 2026. Sonolala, TTT News.
Tensions are rising across the region following U.S. President Donald Trump's warning of steep tariffs on countries that continue to supply oil to Cuba. With sanctions already limiting Venezuelan shipments, the move places pressure on Mexico and its president, while raising questions about where Belize and the wider CARICOM stand. As U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio meets regional leaders during CARICOM's 50th Heads of Government Summit, former Minister of Foreign Affairs Assad Showman says regional leaders may be reluctant to openly condemn Washington, noting he speaks in his private capacity.
They have no right to do this. This is illegal. It has been condemned by the United Nations, the Secretary General of the United, and the reaction has been in Belize, our Prime Minister called it out. Remember at the House meeting when the President of Guyana was there, and he said that was wrong. Our leader of the opposition has condemned the treaty. I don't know if you carried her thing that she gave out a week or so. And today I noticed she put another post because she realized this thing is getting out of hand. The leaders of the Caribbean remain silent. And not only that, they invite one of the architects of this murderous criminal policy to come to the 50th anniversary, 50th meeting of the heads of government of CARICOM and address them.
Mexico halted its shipment of oil to Cuba. It did, however, send humanitarian aid. I believe Canada is thinking about sending humanitarian aid. Should Belize?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I am hoping against hope because, as I said, they have been silent. Except, Briceño was not silent. I think he's the only one that has spoken up, the only actual leader that I know of that has spoken out against what's happening in Cuba today. But former leaders have done so. Obviously, I don't expect the Caricom to make any statement condemning the United States for this, right? They're all afraid. But let us hope that the least they will do is do what you just suggested, send a shipment of humanitarian aid to Cuba, man. People are dying, people are suffering, people that are our brothers and sisters, they're part of our region. They have been an intimate part of our development as individual countries all along.
In Antigua and Barbuda, one of the most talked about vessels in the world is now docked at the Nevis Street Pier in St. John's. The Fortescue Green Pioneer, the world's first dual-fuel ship powered by ammonia, has been in port since Saturday, drawing attention as a glimpse into the future of cleaner maritime transport. ABS News' Alicia George reports.
The 75-meter vessel that you see behind me is not just another ship docked in Antigua. In fact, it represents a global push towards the future of shipping. The Green Pioneer is on a global tour, and unlike conventional vessels that use heavy fuel oil, it's demonstrating how to use green ammonia as a dual fuel to power its engine.
This is an extension to the original plan. As many of you know, this is the world's first ammonia-fueled ship. It is powered by ammonia, therefore it has no carbon, so it's an exciting piece of technology. We've been showcasing this around the world. We've managed to change the regulations. We've had ammonia approved.
Company officials say the idea is to cut liquefied natural gas and non-green methanol out of the supply chain entirely. The vessel arrived from Trinidad on Saturday at the invitation of port manager Darwin Telemack. Hoare says Antigua was a strategic stop because of its forward-looking approach to port development.
This port has done amazing things globally as being a small nation globally, but it's been at the forefront of electrification for ports, so they're really, really right out on the front. So a year ago I first contacted your head of the port, Darwin, and said, look, I hope one day I can come to Antigua, but I didn't really think it was likely at the time. The ship was in Singapore, so it's quite a long way away, another small island on the other side of the earth, but just over 12 months later, we are here.
Its visit comes at a pivotal moment for global shipping. The International Maritime Organization is finalizing stricter greenhouse gas standards as part of efforts to achieve net zero emissions from international shipping by 2050. For Antigua and Barbuda, the timing is significant since the government is actively exploring green fuel infrastructure as part of its long-term port development strategy.
We've been discussing this for a while. Why don't you come on over to Antigua? First, I have to get agreement from the government. The Prime Minister immediately said, let's go. It wasn't even a question. Why? Because we too are keen on ensuring that we participate in the process of transforming an industry that plays a very vital role in our economy, our survival, our existence.
Telemack says Antigua and Barbuda will not be left out of global decarbonization discussions. Today, the Green Pioneer docks in Antigua. Tomorrow, perhaps, Antigua powers vessels like this. Alicia George for ABS News.
For today's sports report, we kick things off with football. Jamaica opened their CONCACAF Under-20 qualifiers campaign with a commanding 3-0 victory over Bonnier in their encounter at Estadio Regional Jean Francisca in Willemstad, Curaçao on Monday. The Group B win sees the young Reggae boys sitting atop the group on goal difference, following 2-1 victories for Turks and Caicos Islands over Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico over St. Kitts and Nevis in other fixtures. Jamaica will return to action on Wednesday when they face Turks and Caicos Islands at 7 p.m. The tournament serves as a qualification for the 2026 CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, as well as the 2026 Central American and Caribbean Games and the 2027 Pan American Games. We now look to cricket as West Indies delivered a dominant performance to maintain their unbeaten run at the ICC T20 World Cup. The Windies posted a record total for this edition of the Global Showpiece as they emphatically defeated Zimbabwe by 107 runs in their Super 8 clash at the Wahidi Stadium in Mumbai on Monday.
Shimron Hetmyer made a stunning 85 off 34 balls as West Indies began their T20 World Cup Super 8 stage. Hetmyer hit 7 sixes and 7 fours as he mixed finesse with power at a strike rate of 250 to help West Indies post a mammoth total of 254 for 6. The left-handed Guyanese was dropped twice on 9 and 70 before he was eventually caught at deep mid-wicket. Rovman Powell then upped the ante after a patient start to chip in with a 35-ball 59 before middle-order cameos from Sherfane Rutherford with an unbeaten 31, Romario Shepherd's 21 and Jason Holder's 13 provided further impetus. West Indies' total was the second highest in T20 World Cup history, behind Sri Lanka's 260 for 6 against Kenya back in 2007. Then Akil Hussein's brilliance with the ball started it all as Zimbabwe were reeling at 3 for 20 by the third over and never recovered. Hussein finished with 3 for 28, Gudakesh Moti captured 4 for 28, and Matthew Ford grabbed 12 for 27 to ensure Zimbabwe were restricted to 147 all out in 17.4 overs. Brad Evans's 43 from 21 balls, inclusive of 5 sixes, was not enough. Captain Shea Hope talked about the win as they look ahead to South Africa and India.
When you get 250 plus on the board in the T20 game, then you must be happy as a batting unit. And then with the ball being as clinical as we did in that, especially in the middle phase and power play. So I would call it more of a complete game for us, but if you want to be picky, there's always areas that you can improve. And I just believe the way we've been playing it certainly gives us a lot of confidence. And like I always say, we've got to stay in the moment. Yes, we've played well to this stage, but again, we've got another game in a few days, and we got to make sure we turn up on that day again. So, great start, great confidence booster, but those games are gone. We got to look ahead now. We've got South Africa next, and then India after. So we got to keep playing our best cricket. If we can get better, continue getting better. If we're doing what we're doing well, continue doing it.
Terry Andrew, ABS Sports.
And with that, we pull up stumps on today's newscast. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.
Speeding kills. Obey the speed limit. A message from the Road Safety Unit in the Ministry of Transport and Mining.
No more guarantors for student loan. Your government cares about your education, and we don't want you to ever have to worry about going to university. The Students' Loan Bureau has a loan for you so you can focus on your future.
A new story is being written for all Jamaicans. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is on a mission to transform lives. From increasing access to potable water, providing secure homes for the most vulnerable, and helping you own a piece of the rock, we're revitalizing communities and preserving our environment. We're making an impact. See the difference. Feel the difference. Building a better Jamaica for you and me.
You can feel it. Make JC.
What can a little germs do?
Pink eye running belly, even flu. Germs can make them happen to you.
Put germs on our manners with these. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Always wash your hand with water and soap. Keep dirty hands from your eyes and your nose and your mouth. You don't want to be sick, take care. Practice every day, no germs around here.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. You fi check out the servings, just do the maths. Not taking too much, finger below the facts. Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. Take note of the sodium, the sugars and the fats. 5% or less in the on the right track. You fi zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. Vitamins, minerals and vitamin 2, 20% and more that good for you. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. Less sugar, less salt intake and less fat. You fi zoom in.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica Moves, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, the National Health Fund, and Japan.
Me, I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of we. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today. Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code. Pay your ticket on time and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
Na. We want a piece for Jamaica. Yeah. We have to be our brother's keeper. Yeah. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. Want we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I. No say we future bright. Jamaica live good. Come together as one. I make the violence the one.
Yo, babes, why me I call you so much time and I not get you? Sorry me lick you again yesterday. Yo, me know me mess up, but I can't wear them something there road and I expect me to react. I know me jealous and fool and easy to lose my temper, but call me back here. Still not get tired. Hey, girl, think me have to call your phone? You know who you are deal with? You think I want to lick me again next time? Eh?
It doesn't have to be this way. You can leave an abusive relationship. Just call 876-553-0372. We will help you.
Hey, just a reminder, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. If you're feeling overwhelmed, try talking to a trusted friend or family member. You don't have to go through it alone. Sometimes sharing your feelings can make a big difference. If you need more support, don't hesitate to reach out to the Health and Wellness Ministry's Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888 New Life. That's 888-639-5433. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. Your feelings matter, and there are people ready to listen. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.
I wonder who that somebody be. No, sir. Let me look for my glasses. Oh, that somebody look like right, sir. It's Lottie, walk on. Me glad for see you, right? Although things never go on for you, America, me glad to see you there. Yeah. Lift your head high. Yeah. Stay out of trouble. Yeah. And you can have a fresh start back home. All right, Mr. D.
Thanks, you hear?
Let's all work together for a fresh start back home.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Today, we can report 2 consecutive years of reduction in major crimes and murders, with a significant reduction of almost 20% in murders for 2024.
Between January 2022 and January 2025, we have reduced murders by 51%, and January 2025 had the lowest monthly murder count since September 2014.
Our efforts have also resulted in the reduction of active gangs by 50%. We continue to increase firearm seizures, and in more communities, we are experiencing less violence. We will realize our vision of Jamaica as the place of choice to live, work, do business, raise families, and retire in peace and prosperity.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
So the lane draw, Wright, McGrath, Smith, Manchester, Williams, Winston Jones, 4 Mighton, St. Catherine I, Cousins, Marcus Garvey, 6 Smith, Tatius Golin, 7 Needham. Dentil, technical. On your marks. Set. Off and running. Class 3 boys, 1 of 6, 400 meters. The likes of Wright, Smith, Williams, Martin, Cousins, Smith, Needham. So that's Joel Needham, Dental Technical, Chavoy Smith, Tatius Golden. The race is on, people. Williams, Winston Jones, the leader, Needham, Dental Technical. So that's 1 of 6 on the Class 3 boys, 400 meters. Aldane, Manchester. So that's Aldane Smith, Manchester. Flash time 57.75. Needham 57.92. The winner, second Smith 58.08. Third Smith 1 minute 0.88. Next on track, heat 2 of the Class 3 boys, 400 meters. In lane 1, Gordon. Lane 2, Washington. Gordon from Claude McKay. Washington, Husimati. Lane 3 goes to Martin. Marcus Garvey. Ruffington, Brownstown in lane 4. Lane 5 goes to Leonard. Clarendon College. Lane 6, Brown. Bridgeport High. 7, Peterkins. Jago. That's the call for heat 2 of 6. The Class 3 boys, 400 meters. Next on track. On your marks. Stand up, stand up. Sponsor. On your marks. Set. Off and running heat 2 of 6. The Glass Tree Boys 400 meters. The likes of Gordon, Washington Martin, Ruffington, Leonard Brown, Peterkin. Athlete from San Diego, Giovanni Peterkin. The leader, Bridgeport Brown is there too. Leonard Clarendon College. Martin Washington Gordon. There in the midst. But the leader from San Diego. That's Peterkin. Giovanni Peterkin, San Diego. The leader. Nathan Brown, Bridgeport is there. What? Changing of the guard now. CC, that's Clarendon College. Leonard, come on. To the line, flash time 53.08. Second goes to San Diego. Giovanni. So Leonard, 53.27. Peterkin, 55.25 for second. Third goes to Washington, 1 minute 00.41. So that's heat 2 of 6. And the Class 3 boys, 400 meters. Take your attention now to heat 3. In lane 1, Bernardo Denham, Brownstown. Lane 2, Leandre Russell, Stairturn Academy. Lane 3, Tyreek Williams, Glenmuir. Lane 4, Demara Brown, Bridgeport. Lane 5, Jamar Wint, Inwood High. Lane 6, Davil Lawrence, Greater Portmore. And lane 7, Sean Berry, Ascot. So that's 3 of 6 for the Class 3 boys. 400 meters next.